Monday morning, 6 a.m, same routine, cold coffee, amino acids. So having just started this polarized training program about a couple of weeks ago, Monday is really becoming my squat and deadlift day to build a bit of power and strength through the lower body, followed by a little bit of zone 2, hopefully an hour, focusing on pedaling technique on Wattbikes Hub. Literally have to run to the gym because it's that bit further, but also it's cold. So gets the blood warmed up ahead of the session.
(102.5), a new 1 rep max for me, hopefully.
And now I'm seeking some progression on the safety bar squat. Last week I completed sets of 3 pause reps with 40 added to the bar, and this week I'm hoping to do it with 50 added to the bar. Let's see how I go. Yeah, definitely too much. I'm going to drop the weight back maybe to 45 added to the bar. I think they're okay. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they're okay. So you can see here, not that many working sets, only 3 working sets of deadlift and 3 proper working sets of safety bar squat. I'm keeping the volume low in terms of sets and the volume low in terms of reps, really to focus on building strength and power, but also to avoid fatiguing and damaging the muscles too much. Really, this is about training the nervous system and getting the body better at producing, for me, explosive power. I'm just focusing on zone 2 work, but varying my cadence. I started off at 85 and I've worked my way down to 70. I'm just on the way back up now, trying to keep left-right balance even and a nice efficient torque through the pedals, i.e. a nice circular movement through the pedal, including the pull back towards the bottom of the movement. So that's the hour. Built the cadence back up to around about 84, 85. Now it's time to go into work. Must make mental note. Here at Muscleville Gym, it's Tuesday, it's International Chest Day, so I can't get on the bench. And of course the level of concern is rising that the beach muscles here are going to get neglected. Rotating pull up with 20 kilograms added. (22.5 kilograms added), and I do need to get a shift on because one of the benches has just freed up. I'll just give myself that. Now I went on to complete another progression of 531, 531 on the incline bench press. And the reason I'm focusing very much on strength rather than volume and hypertrophy, i.e. high weight, low number of reps per set and a low volume of sets per gym session, is because I'm making an educated guess that this kind of strength training is going to be much more complementary to the polarized bike training, i.e. if I was to go for a more hypertrophy orientated strength training with higher reps and more sets, that would create a lot more fatigue in the muscles but also the body that would actually then be counterproductive versus the bike training. Well, it's a beautiful, crisp winter's morning, and I'm back here at my happy place, Lee Valley Valley Park, for a bit of a rinse and repeat of last week's polarised sprint training session, where I'm going to sprint as hard as I can on the flats and the ascents, and then recover on the descents and the corners. Looking for a little bit of progression from last week, potentially going for kind of 6 minutes for the efforts, with about 4 or 5 minutes of recovery, and hopefully with higher overall power on the sprints. Let's see how I go. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that. It was a magnificent day to be out on the bike. Absolutely spectacular. And I'm hoping that when I look at the power, I'll see a little bit of progression, because I felt a bit quicker. I felt like I was deploying the power more evenly and with a bit more punch, but we'll see. But also happily, I think I added a bit more volume in terms of the time spent sprinting to this particular training session, because last week I did 4 sets of 2 hot laps, whereas this week I did 4 sets of 2 1/4 hot laps. And then when I worked out that I was going the wrong way around the track, and I went and rectified that, I did a final 5th set of 3 hot laps. I then rounded off the training as last week with just 2 kind of long sprints. I reckon they'll be about 30-35 seconds each, and I'm hoping to have topped 700 watts during those. Okay, yeah, superb training. Hope you enjoy that and the kind of power overlay on the video. It's Friday morning. Feeling quite jaded today actually, but I'm sticking to the same routine. Deadlift, bench, a little bit of zone 2.
You want it to be legitimate. It's only a small percentage, but still.
Blue is the colour. hopefully that means fresh legs for tomorrow's race. And I'm hoping that's going to kind of reboot me. It's been quite a hard week at work. I think that's kind of impacted a little bit on my energy today. Well, welcome to Saturday morning on Bike Racing Without Mercy. And that can mean only one thing. It's race day. And therefore the level of nerves are rising. And once again, I'm back to Hog Hill for my third assault on that course. But this time, I'm going in search of enough points to lift me out of Cat 4 and into Cat 3, and hopefully even better than that. Now last week I placed third, my first ever podium, and I reckon that was helped by Mark Harris's energy breakfast. The rolled oats, nuts, maple syrup, and I added a bit of almond milk. Now today, Mark, you're going to be super happy to see that on the deck here, we have the exact ingredient that you specified, the Sainsbury's Taste of Difference rolled oats rather than the Quaker. So I'm expecting big things and hoping to report back with even better news than last week. And I can see why you were so exacting, Mark, because definitely the Sainsbury's Taste of Difference rolled oat is just that little bit larger and kind of rougher, I reckon, than the Quaker oat. So now time for a little sprinkling of the nuts. I forgot to mash them up this week. I hope that's okay, Mark. Probably put a couple more in there because, you know, probably want about 40 grams. And then, of course, we're going to drizzle, very carefully drizzle, the prime ingredient here. I reckon this is the nitroglycerine that's going to help power, hopefully, some success today as well. It definitely tastes good. And the maple syrup, it provides just enough moisture to make it work. But I definitely think it can be improved a little bit, if you don't mind me saying, Mark, by just adding a bit of the almond milk. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now.
Where's the best place, do you think?
Generally speaking, right, you can go down on the grass.
Yeah.
And you see the sweeping turn coming up, which is pretty cool. And you can also, when there's no one coming, they let you cross the track and go on the other side. But also, it's pretty cool around there because it is carnage. As you come out the start, down straight into the sweeping left, and then you hit like a slight incline. It's a cool track.
Yeah,
really
looks
cool.
it.
Love it.
This is the hill. The steepest part is probably about here. And there's the start-finish line, just on the top of the crest of the hill. And there's a direct headwind, like, it's not going to be nice. This is going to be pretty horrible, but looking forward to it. You're right.
Thanks, mate.
basically as we came down the hill, you go into a right-hander, a bit of a straight, another right-hander. Someone had broken a little bit off the front, so the next three of us are chasing on. But as you go around a corner, you go into kind of a headwind, crosswind, and it took the guys directly in front of me to try to the side, and his line went wide to my line, and he lost speed. And
There was
then,
some sketchy shit going on.
then I had to, I went off onto the grass, and then it went head over heels on the bike. So
Shit, man. You alright?
yeah, I'm just pissed off because I had the strength for that, for top 9 at least.
Could have done with going break, to be honest.
But there we go. I guess that's bike racing. I've really on my back as well, just here, because it was like a real.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, planted.
Look at this! That right-handed crosswind.
Yeah, it's as you go around that right-hander and the crosswind hits you. There's a lad in the breakaway with you in the black jersey. The lad in the black jersey, his bike kind of skidded out, and I'd have either hit him or gone to the grass.
The break was the same place to leave off class.
Yeah. But we were kind of establishing who was the strongest.
No, there were 3 at the front.
But anyway,
There were 3 off the front. We had a good
how did you place? Nice one.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I did way too much work on the break.
So I just finished cleaning off the Carnago and I think it's going to be okay. The group set, the handlebars, the brakes and the gear shifters all seem fine, and touch wood, when I take it for a little ride outdoors in a couple of minutes time, everything's going to be running smoothly. That seemed to be the case for the final kind of 20 minutes of solo time trial effort at the end of that race. And overall, I did always know that crashing was going to be part of the journey. Obviously, this one was quite spectacular because it was at high speed, coming, a few seconds after the really rapid descent when the momentum was at a peak. So I guess it may have been at around about 35 to 40 kilometers an hour, where I had a choice of either hit the rider in front of me or veer off into the grass, which turned out to be really, really soft, and that's why the bike kind of ground to a halt immediately as the wheels dug into the mud and we somersaulted. But for precisely those reasons, I don't think I'm badly injured, just a kind of very sore lower back, and hopefully, as I say, the bike's going to be okay. Well, I've had a quick test ride and I'm pleased to report that my Pride Enjoy does seem to be operating okay. She's tracking fine, the group set seems to be working perfectly. Touch wood, everything's going to be okay for a race next weekend. Now it's time to try and foam roller my lower back into compliance, but that's another story. Nice one, Josh. Yeah, Jose, I'll check out your stats later. Punchy start here.